What's up, guys? So welcome to the channel. My name is Trey Jones. Today we're going to be talking about why your anxiety symptoms won't go away. Why are they sticking around? Why are they constant? Why are they persistent? Okay, why are they happening at the same time every single day, right? We're going to go over that. We're going to cover the biggest reason for that. But you know what time it is. If you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt, smash the like button down below. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know if this is something that you're dealing with, symptoms that are just lingering around and you're wondering when. When are they going to leave me alone? When are they going to go away? Okay, we're going to jump right into that. But first, guys, remember the description down below has all my tips for anxiety. There's coaching info down there. Why do coaching with me? Why is that something that I offer? Not only does it support me, but it helps me give back. It is impossible for me to reach every single person like it used to when this channel was smaller. This allows me to give you individual, personalized help, okay? Also, I don't just do this for fun. I don't just make this stuff up. I didn't just pick this niche for whatever. I actually went through hardcore anxiety disorders for 5 long years, but I overcame it. I know if I did, you can too. If you've never tried therapy, online therapy is down below if that's something you would rather do than coaching. I honestly think it's great to do both. So that info is down there. Start being proactive towards your anxiety. So let's jump into this. Obviously, I dealt with hundreds, if not thousands, of different symptoms. They came in waves. They came in stages. Usually they were dependent on whatever disease that I was fearing. I had health anxiety, so I feared death, dying, disease, suffering, sickness, illness. I would Google things. I would be convinced that I had this disease, and I would be given these set of symptoms that mimic that disease because my brain was just that good, okay? Something that you first have to understand, and the reason that these symptoms continue is because there's still a fear element there. There's an element of fear that hasn't fully gone away. And as long as that fear is still there, it will continue. Now, sure, your symptoms can continue after you accept and after you start moving on because your subconscious still lags behind your conscious intentions. So some of these symptoms, for instance, will be on autopilot for a while until finally your subconscious is like, okay, he hasn't been worrying about this for a while, let's back off. So there's still going to be a little period of time for some of these symptoms where they linger. But as long as you're fearing them, you're not going to get very far. So I know that's one of the toughest things. For me, for instance, it was cardiophobia for 2 to 2.5 years about that. I feared issues with my heart. So those were the symptoms that I dealt with: the chest pain, the heart rate, the blood pressure, the numbness, the tingling, basically heart attack symptoms. When I finally came to a point where I was like, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to prove to myself that nothing is wrong, and I started to develop some better internal reassurance versus external reassurance, that's whenever my fear for heart disease stopped. So therefore, most of those symptoms went away, and I didn't really deal with those that much anymore. But since I hadn't handled my overall fear of death and dying and disease, I developed stomach pain, so I started worrying about colon cancer, stomach cancer, gut cancer, all that stuff. Then it was throat cancer and lymphoma. So you can see your symptoms can change over time. That's just your subconscious saying, well, for my situation, he got over the heart disease and everything, but he never changed his life. So now I'm going to make him worry about stomach issues. Maybe this will kick him in the butt, and now he'll start to change, and these symptoms will then go away, okay? But as long as you're fearing them, they're going to continue. These symptoms are fear-fueled, okay? These symptoms are like a bully. They keep coming back and keep coming back because they think you're too easy and you're scared. You know what I mean? I tell my coaching clients all the time, it's like you're saying, leave me alone, please, not right now, go away. And what do? They get worse. That's my lunch money, give it back, okay? I know it's not really funny, but you have to kind of think of it in that way. How do you overcome a fear, right? How do you overcome a bully? You have to face that person, okay? You have to face that person. You have to face that symptom. So those of you that are cutting corners around in your recovery or attempting to cut corners to recovery, those of you that are doing this and doing this but not doing that, those of you that are scared to exercise because of your symptoms, you have to get past that, okay? Some other things, guys, reassurance. You need to have reassuring statements that you can go to when these symptoms come up, okay? It'll help you with the fear, right? So something I had to start doing is whenever my symptoms came up, I'd be like, look, you've been checked, you've been fine. These are professionals that checked you out, okay? These symptoms will pass. They will go on. I have not died from these symptoms yet. I'm not going to die today. So you have to start doing that when the symptoms come up. You also need to build confidence. You need some tools that work. So challenging symptoms, cold showers, self-regulation, right? All of these things can help you get some fast results with your symptoms, all right? Anxiety is going to always do the opposite of what you want it to do. So if you want it to go away, It's going to get worse. And I apologize for the noise. My kids are acting crazy. But as long as you want it to go away, it's going to get stronger, right? That's what happens. Please, not right now, I'm driving. Please, not right now, I'm at the grocery store. Please, not right now, I'm with family. It will get worse. So reverse psychology on this tended to work with me. I asked it to bring it on, just like I would ask a bully to bring it on. I'm ready. I'm tired of you picking on me. I'm at rock bottom. I'm desperate. I'm going to claw my way out of this. I will not live like this anymore. So make today rock bottom. Make today as bad as it gets, and start standing up to some of these fears. Stand up to these symptoms, okay? Ask them to get worse, and then take note that they don't get worse, okay? Because that's how it works, okay? So guys, just remember, fear is fueling these things. As long as you're reacting in fear, as long as you're a sitting duck, as long as you're not being proactive, as if you're curling up into a little ball, if you're just hiding under the covers, they will not go away. In fact, you're feeding into the symptoms. You're feeding into the fear, and the fear is then fueling the symptoms to continue. And like I said, if you're starting to make changes and you're starting to stick with a routine, you're taking some of the tips that I've been giving you in these videos, keep doing it. Sometimes it just takes longer for your subconscious to catch up with you, okay? And I know that's why acceptance is hard. I know that's why being positive is hard, is because we try to do those things and then we don't see a quick change. This is just like many other things, except maybe even a little bit harder, okay? You want to work out, you want to get a six-pack, but you're in the mirror looking at yourself after 3 days like, where's my abs at, right? Where's my abs? Where's that tone? Where's that muscle? It's been 2 or 3 days, dude. Same thing with anxiety. You want to be an entrepreneur, what do? You study, you take courses, maybe you go to college, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. You educate yourself and you become really good at that craft. Same thing if you want to be an amazing musician, right? If you want to be an amazing athlete, there's a difference between talent and working hard to get to that next level, okay? You have to rewire. That's what this whole thing is. So you have to rewire. It takes time. So even though you're making changes, sometimes these symptoms can linger, and that's in part due to your subconscious. It's been on autopilot for so long. You still haven't gotten the full trust. It's just holding on a little bit longer to see if you really have changed, if things are really different, and whenever it finally believes, it'll start letting go. But I know you need to get a little bit of confidence going. Use some of those tips I just shared with you earlier, and start putting them into practice and get some quick results of that and start building that momentum. But it's a combination of things. It's self-love, it's reassurance, it's being proactive within a few seconds after the symptom popping up, and not reacting in fear. And some of this comes down to developing that courage, developing that bravery, realizing like I have to be brave, I have to be courageous in this moment because running away from it has not been working for me, and that's where I got. Unfortunately, some people, it takes 10, 15 years for them to get there, and then some people, like somebody I coach today, they're already there, and they've been dealing with this for about a year and a half. So for me, it took me about 4 years before I got to that point. I encourage you guys to not be like me, and to do this a little bit faster. But I love you guys. Remember, all my tips are down below. If you want to do this on a more personal level, email me. That's down below in the description and the first pinned comment. Go to therapy, guys, if you've never tried it, all right? Make sure that you're changing up your diet. Make sure that you're exercising. Make sure that you're being mindful. You're practicing gratitude. You're doing your journaling. You're practicing your positive thinking. These things take time, and your subconscious has to be convinced that you're making this change for good and you're not trying to force recovery. A lot of you are trying to force it. I think I'm going to do a video about that soon, about forcing recovery, because that also is holding a lot of you back. In regards, I mentioned this yesterday, I'm thinking about upping my uploads to 2 uploads a day and doing that for a while. I know some of you aren't going to like that. That's a lot of info, but that's a reason why I want you to actually hit the notification bell when you subscribe, so when something like that starts happening, you don't, lose out or miss out on any of those videos. But I'm thinking about doing one early in the morning for people who are going to school, going to college, going to work, have things to do, so they can watch that as a good way to start their morning. And then I'm going to have one in the evenings or late afternoon, evening, depending on where you live. Basically my normal uploading time like I'm doing right now. I'm going to have one of those as well. The morning video will probably be shorter. The evening video will be longer. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm excited about that. I told you I wanted to be more consistent. I actually promised you guys I would be more consistent, and here I am. We're doing it. We're making it happen. Remember to check out the video I did yesterday, health anxiety, 20 signs that you could have that. Check that out. And I'm going to put some videos up here for you to check out as well. But guys, I love you all. Keep fighting. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell, like I said, so you can get updates when I put these videos out. The description, oh my God, come on, guy, get it together, is really full of many tips, links, and other resources. So check that out. Facebook groups are down there. That's also important. Join these communities. They're free. They're down there. So leave a comment and like this video if you got value. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.